Jessica Thalmann. I'm the artist behind Line of Sight, Glass Arcades, and Highrise Refracted Light.
I'm Rena Greer, public art consultant for Bank of Montreal's new branch at the Eaton Centre. The bank identified artwork in 3 locations: a 30-foot high wall for a mural, 4 columns which have images from the mural, and a 2-story atrium space for a suspended sculpture. It was important to me that all the artworks be related by subject matter and by style. And because the sculpture was 3-dimensional and the mural and the artwork for the columns were 2-dimensional, I looked for an artist that could handle both with ease, and I found it in Jessica Thalmann. Her work is all about the fracturing of the image and the space around it, and it lets you identify and experience the content in a unique way.
Highrise Refracted Light is a 20-foot-long resin-based sculpture hanging from the ceiling, the atrium of the BMO Eaton Centre branch. The artistic intent originally, when I was making the piece, was to think about kinetic movement and to think about the idea of a twist. So I wanted an object that felt like it was moving, but also had stillness kind of based into it. So I came up with these almost like crystal-like forms that have this kind of really interesting V-pleat twisting effect to it. As the process went on, when we were developing the public artwork, I was really interested in the idea of luminosity and light. The materials changed as I was making the work. There are a combination of resin in various different forms, some with a frosted surface, some with a clear surface, some with some color, some pigment incorporated into it. What was important to me is the way the light reflects and refracts throughout the piece itself, bouncing off the surrounding architecture and then back onto the object itself. Almost as if you can't tell where one unit begins and the other ends, where the blue light radiates from one piece in transparency and goes into the other. The overall shape of Highrise Refracted Light really came about thinking about a chandelier, but pushing it in a way that is totally not a reimagined chandelier. There's no actual lights in the object itself, it's the illusion. An important aspect of it was the voids and empty spaces where the units and the crystals kind of move in between one another. And that was one realization that I had, in that the spaces that have emptiness to them are also just as important as the ones that are full or do have objects or material into it. So it's that balance of the one and the two was a really lovely artistic kind of gesture, thinking about the empty spaces and then the full spaces.
When BMO wanted this artwork to refer specifically to its place in the city, Jessica realized that the best way to talk about the city was to talk about Eaton Centre itself. She went back to the original 1977 interior and exterior photographs of this building and folded and recombined these views in a new way, sort of like a kaleidoscope. And truly, it feels like you're experiencing the building for the very first time. The 300 crystals that form the 20-foot-long hanging sculpture in the atrium is the 3-dimensional expression of this kaleidoscope that are found in the mural and the columns, and it uses the very same color palette to unite all 3 artworks in a cohesive experience.
Line of Sight, Glass Arcades, is an artwork, hand-painted mural that focuses on archival images of the Eaton Center when it was originally built and opened in 1977. Also images that I've made and photographed of contemporary and very organic architecture, and then some very abstract photographs of light and shadow and just color and tone. And my usual bag of tricks involves cutting, folding, ripping, inverting, transforming, using surface manipulations and folding techniques to achieve this kind of illusion or trompe-l'œil effect where you think a real shadow or a real architectural line meets something else when it's just an illusion and it's not the real thing. So again, that slippage of meaning between image and object was a really important artistic impetus for Line of Sight. During the process of making Line of Sight, I was really interested in going back into the archival images from 1977 and revisiting the honest beauty of the original architecture when it was first built. There's a real hearkening back to modernist shopping arcades from the mid-century, thinking about Walter Benjamin and thinking about wandering through Paris or wandering through those European outdoor shopping arcades. Really made me love and fall in love again with the barrel-vaulted glass arcade here at the Eaton Center. Sometimes it's been overlooked or underappreciated, but it's really a focus on understanding the interior of the building. And so that's why the work focuses on fenestration, it focuses on windows, it focuses on glass, it focuses on light, and how those two things are shaped, molded, transformed into one another. So that was the artistic gesture in thinking about how these images from the past and the present can function potentially in the future. One aspect that is a great addition to the sculpture itself are the 4 surrounding columns that have certain sections and aspects of the mural placed on it. And what is really interesting to me is the kind of inversion, flipping upside down, mirror reversing the images. So there's almost, again, a kaleidoscopic aspect to the work and how it reflects back into the resin piece up above. That's the other aspect of the columns and the sculpture that I really, really enjoy, this kind of circular round gesture. Oculus in the space itself, the atrium that's surrounding the resin sculpture, is reflected again in the round columns. And so those hopefully force you to move around in the branch itself and find these different perspectives and viewpoints. It's almost like a surprise when you walk around the piece.